right, ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day, guys. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys on how I got over my ex-girlfriend. This all right, this is a weird way. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. How I got over my ex or how to get over somebody. I don't know. How I got over my ex. Okay, so so first off, it's been officially around 6-ish months from the breakup. And just for reference, I've only known this girl for a handful of months. So it's officially been longer that I've been broken up with her than when I've even known her to begin with. And the reason why I made this video a couple months ago, for those of you who don't even know, I actually did make a video that was like almost 30 minutes long talking about the situation 2 months after the situation occurred, is because it was so bizarre. And it was, quite frankly, to be honest with you, it was so fucked up. And I was hurt so bad because I've never had any male, female, like friend, girlfriend, nothing. I've never had a single, not even a fucking enemy. I've never had anybody do what this person did. And it's not to try to be like, oh, I'm a victim and have sympathy for me, feel bad for me. Oh my God, this happened. This is so horrible. Oh my God. It's not to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it was so fucked up. And just to give a quick recap, now that I'm extremely emotional, secured, and stable now compared to prior, I'll just give a quick, very concise, brief storyline and baseline of this whole situation. So I met this girl at a hospital. I was hospitalized for a few days because I had a life-threatening condition called rhabdomyolysis. I almost fucking died. My kidneys were damn near almost failing because breaking down too much muscle tissue, etc. You can look what the fuck that is. So I was hospitalized, met this girl who was my nurse, and fell in love with her low-key. And, I kind of started raising her up in the hospital. And then after I left the hospital, because I had got her, contact information, I started talking to her. Coincidentally, we went to the same gym together. We started working out together. Then we started going out and dating and then blah, blah, blah. And then, I guess it broke off. To be honest, I really don't even know how it ended. What the sole reasoning as to why it ended was. I don't know. And that sounds fucking crazy. But because of the fact that I got this whole storyline that, she's religious and stuff like that, and her family wouldn't accept me in a sense because I'm not in the same religion as her, and something along those lines. And then I remember one day we were together and she sent this whole paragraph saying oh my God, they found out, just a whole bullshit fucking storyline that was completely made up and fabricated. And I'm saying it's made up and fabricated because literally I was talking to her and trying to reassure her, everything's gonna be okay, relax, you're gonna be fine. She's talking about how she's wanting to end her life and all this crazy fucking psychotic shit, bro. And I'm getting worried, because I think anybody with a normal brain and has somewhat of empathy, especially for somebody that they have feelings for, whether it's just a mutual friendship bond or a family member or significant other, when somebody talks about ending their life or wanting to end it or having any self-harm thoughts, you're worried. Your guard's right here. You're dude, this is fucked up, and it gets you. What hurts them hurts you, essentially, in a way. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody who has had an emotional feeling towards somebody, or even a family member, especially, that's everyone knows that feeling. Everyone can relate. So yeah, I would get those messages, and she was talking about wanting to self-harm herself and shit, and I'm no, it's going to be okay. And, I kind of try to relax her. And during that breakthrough moment that day, I didn't see it really going anywhere. So I kind of let it cool down and I stopped messaging her. And then within an hour or two, I got blocked completely. And a week and a half, about around that estimating time frame goes by, no response, doesn't try to see me, doesn't try to contact me, nothing. I'm dude, there's no fucking way. This girl's just gonna dip, bro. You just know when it's okay, bro. I just think logically, any person in the right mind would just not fucking disappear like that. That's fucking crazy. And so, obviously, from knowing her schedule and work and shit like that, and I just said, okay, fuck, dude, I'm worried if this girl did something to herself or what the fuck's going on. I obviously want some closure, and I also want to let her know that relax, it's gonna be okay, you're good, Like, everything's gonna be fine. So a week-ish goes by, and I know her schedule at work, so I try to go see her. This is fucking hilarious. This is where the whole turnaround goes. So I try to go see her, and then I see her right when she's leaving her shift. So I go to her job like maybe like 30-ish minutes before she leaves work. See her coming out, and approach her. I was like, hey, how are you? Like, are you good? Literally just looks at me one time and just says, get away from me, leave me alone. Like, with the most cold-hearted fucking tone, like, ever. Like, just complete fucking 180. Like just a switch up. I was lost. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. Like, the two things I expected in terms of her reaction when she would see me was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, Kevin. Like, my parents are this or that. And, yeah, none of that happened. No emotional breakdown or no, like, oh, I miss you, or oh my God, like, I don't know what to do, nothing. She just said, like, get away from me, just straight up. And then she just sped walk back to the hospital, like, immediately. Like, it was so random. I don't know what the fuck happened. And then a cop nearby saw me, started fucking yelling. Obviously, from an outside lens, that does look a little off. You have like what appears to be a random stranger approaching a female, especially a female that's smaller than you, smaller than the male. I mean, just common sense. I think it's all normal that we'd understand that it looks off. He approaches me, he starts yelling at me, starts being a fucking dickhead, not allowing me to explain myself during the whole situation. Asked me to give him her name, her number, all that shit. He calls her, and then the complete 180 is that this chick, like, just completely just fucking bashes me, bro. Like, she just literally, like, starts saying, like, when he calls her, because she just dipped, she just disappeared, and she went in the hospital somewhere. So he calls her from her phone, and just, yeah, she just completely goes ape shit, and he calls her and says, excuse me, do you know who this gentleman is? Are you aware of who this man is? She's just like, yeah, I'm afraid of him. He's been coming after me. He's been stalking me, and he won't leave me alone. Like, completely just fucking just sabotaging me. Just like, it's so fucked up, especially from an emotionality aspect, because it's like you're going out of your way to try to make sure this person's okay, that you care about, especially going through like such a breakthrough moment, and like, you know, obviously now you got like a whole family involved and shit, and now like this whole debacle is just fucking unfolding. And so that happens. I'm like, what the fuck? So obviously, you know, the cop's taking her side because I live in America, and, you know, now that I'm like, I have processed this whole thing, the whole 9 yards for what it is, and not what I thought it was. I am in a very logical state to where now I'm just like, look, Kevin, you know, the situation's bizarre, unfairly, and it was completely unjustifiable on your end, but you do have to understand that you do live in America, and it is a believe all women society, whether you want to believe that or not, and that goes for me and as well as the people who are watching this video right now. And so you have to understand that they're going to believe her word over yours, regardless if you have proof of messages to show the police this is what's going on, this is what she was saying, she was not acting like this, nor resembling the attitude and persona that she just presented in that very moment. And the whole 9 yards, you know, they didn't want to listen to me, allow me to show myself, nothing. So they just completely just was being extremely disrespectful, loud to me. I was being compliant. You know, I did not try to resist and give an attitude whatsoever, nothing. And I think the whole fucked up thing, though, was in general that, like, that was such a twist for me and such a psychological mindfuck that she would do something like that or say something like that about me, especially knowing that she knows the kind of person I am. And to be fair, I'm not even going to put that on you guys saying, you know, a lot of you guys who've been watching me for a long time saying you guys know who I am as a person. Because in reality, in retrospect, like, you guys don't really know me. You know me from what I portray myself to be on the internet. That's just what it is. But I think that, like, if you were to just grasp, all right, and just give me the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, the man and the guy that Kevin Diaz from Crew Aesthetics portrays himself to be on the internet is not not any of those things, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, I like to, look, I don't like to brag about myself much. I know on the internet, I do a lot of videos where I'm like, try to look like this egotistical douchebag. And guys, it's entertainment. A lot of it's satirical content. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that we have in society now is that, like, people don't understand the difference between comedy and reality. And so it's jokes. It's just satirical content. That's what it is, a lot of it, right? And then you also see for a lot of those people, it doesn't get as many views, of course, but me being real, me being relatable, a lot of people that touches and grabs a lot of people's hearts, especially who watch that kind of shit from me. And that's why I make these kind of videos. But they know that this is the kind of person I am. I'm a genuine person, right? I don't like to talk about myself very highly because I think that's just like, I like to be very humble, right? And so I don't like to talk about myself in such a high regards, but if there's one thing I can say, and I do like to be very proud of myself of saying about myself and towards myself, is that I'm a very respectful, genuine guy, right? Obviously, everyone has flaws and shit. I'm not saying I'm a perfect guy. I'm a flawed man. Every man is flawed, right? Everybody sins. I'm not a perfect person. I sin every day, but I am a genuine, kind-hearted dude, and I only want the best and look for the best in people. And I, honestly, quite frankly, I try to see the best in people. So her doing that shit was just, it was completely disrespectful, and it hurt me a lot. And for the longest time, like, I didn't know what to do. I'm not gonna lie, you know? Damn, that kind of hit. Fuck, sorry. It hurt me so much, man. It hurt so fucking much. Because it's like, you know, this is the crazy thing. This is something that I'm so grateful for having, because this individual somehow managed to break my self-esteem to a level that I've never experienced before, right? You guys seen the content of me where, like, you know, people will fucking talk shit to me or like say like, oh, you're short, you're this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't give a solitary fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and that's not me just saying it to say it. I'm being 100% authentically serious with you guys right now. Like, I could not care fucking less. You could say I'm short, you could say I'm small, I'm not ripped, I'm fucking fat, or I'm ugly, or I'm this, I'm that, I'm not smart, I'm stupid. Dude, I get hate comments for days. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm just used to the game now, you know what I'm saying? But with this girl especially somebody I cared about, and so especially from somebody that I did not expect would ever do something like that, especially because of the qualities that she has as an individual. Later on learned that just because somebody has X qualities doesn't mean that she can't be Y person. But it broke my self-esteem down to a level to where I was like, you know, damn, am I that worthless to you? Am I that, like, much of a worthless garbage piece of shit that's useless to you to the extent and length that, like, you would be willing to go as far as saying the most heinous, bizarre, wildest shit about me to police? To just, I mean, I don't even really know what the end goal was, but like, I mean, I guess to just have me disappear or some shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck the goal was with that, what the incentive was, but it obviously was with malicious intent. I mean, I think it's safe to say that, right, guys? And that broke me. That broke me as a person, man. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. That teared me to pieces. And this is something that I gotta say to you guys. You never know what somebody's going through in life. There was a good period of time for like a month-ish, a month and a half or so after that situation, from that moment, I didn't take care of myself. And you could see it very visibly within my content. You see me, I'm not shaving, I look like shit. People in the comments are worried about me, like, yeah, Kevin, are you good? Like, you look off, are you good? Like, what's going on? Your tonality looks a little bit different compared to prior videos. And I was done, bro. I was so fucking done mentally. I couldn't even grasp the feeling I had. Like, I can't even till this day still comprehend the feeling I had. And so that's the feeling I had for a very long time. Even after the month and a half-ish after that incident went by, you know, I started taking care of myself after a while. But months went by and I couldn't forget about it, bro. Because I said to myself, you know, this girl, and no, guys, like, I'm the kind of person that I don't dwell on people. I'll tell you right fucking now, I do not dwell on people. I've had relationships where, like, I've dated people for a few years, and the date ends, I don't dwell on people, right? Because I don't dwell on them because it's like, I know I deserve better, 100%. Like, I know my worth, I deserve better, and, like, I'm just this is not for me. And I have a lot more respect for myself than to like beg or plead for, I don't know, like another opportunity to make it try to work, even though it's that person's fault in this, you know, realm. If you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know how to explain this shit. I don't know. I don't know. I sound kind of retarded right now. I know, but like, fuck, I'm trying to explain myself in the most proper way possible. I couldn't believe it. I swore to myself that I'm like, no way. Like, I genuinely swore to myself, there's no way this girl is just gonna fucking disappear like that and do some fucking wild shit like that about me and just disappear and not reach out to me via IG or like messages or whatever the fuck, or unblock me and like explain herself. I'm so sorry, Kevin, I had to say this because of this, and that. I was convinced. I convinced myself there's just no fucking way. And it turns out that was the way. That this chick, for whatever reason, I still don't know today, to be honest with you guys, said those wild things about me and just disappeared out of my life, and I never saw her again. Never heard from her again. She never reached out to me again, and obviously vice versa. I never reached out to her again. It hurt. It hurt for a long time. It really fucked me up, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's been damn near half a year, but every day I still think about this chick a little bit. And I think I've come to terms with realizing that I don't think I'm ever gonna forget about this woman as much as I'd like to. Because, you know, you do something like that to somebody and say those things about somebody that you supposedly say you love or like so much or whatever, and you do that, it's like, that's fucked up. But you know what's crazy about that situation is that like months went by with that girl, and I think it was like 3-ish months. So this happened 3 months ago. This is fucked up. This is some fucked up shit. I remember after that incident, like at the hospital, where like she almost got me fucking arrested, and I just left, and yeah, I never saw or heard from her ever again. I remember one day I go to the gym, and I remember a subscriber comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, brother? How are you?" I'm like, I'm good, man. What about you? I wasn't really the best still. I mean, it's been a couple months, but I was better. I was a lot better compared to like the first month and a half-ish, 2 months. So it was a lot better, but not the best still. And I remember he came up to me and he's like, "Yo, brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I was at this hospital, ex-hospital. I'm not gonna say the name of the hospital, obviously, but I was at the hospital because my mom was having labor, and you know, I was there, and I was like, oh shit, really, dude, that's fucking dope, bro. Like, what is it, a boy or girl, whatever? We were just talking." And he's like, "Yeah, it was this, but look, like, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I saw your face in the front of the hospital." And it triggered me. I was low-key, like, okay, at first I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, bro, that's fucking, there's just no way. There's no way, because like, when you put a fucking picture of someone's face at a certain facility for like, I don't know whether it's a fucking store or a fucking hospital or whatever the fuck it is, it's because they've done something fucked up. Right? They did something fucked up, or they stole, or they committed a crime, or they did this or that, like something crazy, right? I didn't commit a crime. Therefore, that's also the reason why I didn't get arrested, because there was no evidence nor a crime being committed. Simple as is. So when he said that to me, I was like, dude, you're fucking lying. No fucking way. And he's like, bro, I swear on my life, bro, I even took a picture of it. And I was like, dude, this guy's fucking serious, bro. I'm going to pop it up for you guys. They put a picture of my face in the front of the fucking hospital. And the worst part about it is that picture that I just showed you guys that they put in the front of the hospital of my face, that picture is from my fucking Instagram. How invasive is that? This individual not only said this crazy shit about me, now I had to deal with the heartache and pain of this individual just being fucking extremely disrespectful and just sabotaging my, I just completely just fucking wrecking me for a short period of time. But is now purposely, and obviously this is very clearly at this point with very malicious intent, making me look bad. There's just a picture of my face, And it's just saying like, oh, I'm not allowed here. And there's like a sticker. I can't even read it because it's blurry. And I'm like, are you like, are you serious? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, is this really happening to me? Like, did this person not only say those things, but then I'm assuming just saying to the staff or them like, oh yeah, and this is a picture of him going on his Instagram, and like, what? Like, like what? When I found that out, I switched my profile picture on Instagram because I felt a little uncomfortable. I felt a little off because I'm like, that's a little invasive. That's a little fucked up, you know? Like, sure. I mean, if you want to be a fan and put a picture of me in your facility, go ahead. But like, shit, I don't know. That was a little disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. I took that the wrong way. I wanted to preface this. This is why I brought this up, because at that point, I'm like, okay. The story that this female, obviously, she said that crazy shit about me. That obviously like made me very misconstrued of like that story of her saying, oh, her family found out about me and like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And they're like disowning me and they're trying to like kick me out and all this crazy shit. That was completely falsified, fabricated, and just complete bullshit. That was obvious at that point because like, doesn't match up to the attitude from, you know, the day I try to go like see her and make sure she's okay and all that shit. And then like seeing that on top of that, I think it's safe to say that this girl was out to get me to a certain degree. And I know that a lot of people, especially that go through breakups, they're going to think for a long time, like, are they going to come back? Oh, they're going to come back. And you kind of like do this like psychological manipulation to like convince yourself they're going to come back. No, I mean, why wouldn't they come back? You know, and this and this and that. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. There's a possibility they might. There is a possibility they might. For example, like this girl, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, like it's kind of funny because like I make content, she knows I make content and YouTube videos and shit like that, which also adds into why like that's so much more fucked because like she knows that like I guess my reputation matters to some degree, so like saying that about me is kind of disrespectful in that regard as well. But you know, she knows I make social media and shit like that and content. So like sometimes I wonder, like, did she watch my content? Like, did she like sometimes see me? Because sometimes pages repost me. So whether I'm blocked or not or whatever the fuck, like, I always wonder that. But yeah, again, like we were talking about, like, will they come back? Yeah, there's a possibility they will. I'm not gonna lie to you. But then at the same time, don't be those fucking people who, you know, and that's another thing, you know, these people who make content, especially that they talk about dating and breakups and no contact and oh my God, like if you're going through no contact right now, don't worry, they're gonna message you back. I fucking hate those people. Because during that period of time, I used to fucking binge watch the living fuck out of those like motherfuckers and saying like, your ex is gonna come back if you don't reply and you do no contact and this and this and that, and just show that you're bettering yourself. And like, yeah, some of the things they implement and say is like true to a degree, but also it's just manipulation for their self-gain because they're trying to gain views or they're trying to also make money from X course or Y product or whatever the fucking case may be. And it's disgusting, it's shady, and it's really fucked up because it just goes to show from an outside lens when you're not emotional and you're not in that emotional state anymore, but you did delve into that realm of content of no contact and breakups and dating a relationship, that these people are literally psychologically fucking manipulating you and nitpicking your brain to try to persuade you to watch your shit, give them the views and fucking add revenue and buy their courses and shit like that. So they're just profiting off of your heartache. That's really what it is. Think about that for a fucking second. Because that took me a long fucking time to think about. And then I came to a realization, fuck these people. These people are not in it for me. These people are in it for themselves. Just like a lot of people in this world. And that took me a fucking long time to realize. That girl, right, she did all those heinous things, but like from an outside looks, right, like her resume per se was just complete angel-like, right? Or we're talking about a girl who, you know, this girl was a virgin and this girl like was not attention seeking. All her fucking pictures on Instagram were like family oriented, wouldn't dress provocatively, you know, was a very kind-hearted, sweet girl. And she was smart, intelligent, and you know, she even like would play music and shit like on the piano and stuff like that, and I would play the guitar. And You know, from a relatability aspect in terms of playing music and shit like that. Like, that's really nice. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? You want to have certain relatable traits with somebody you're with or talking to. What else? There's a lot of things. I mean, she, you know, her music taste was good and she was kind of funny and shit like that, and she was cool, you know? And even though, like, all those things came by to that point, like, that does not mean shit, dog. Because at the end of the day, they could have a resume that appears good, but just because they have a resume, it doesn't mean that they are applicable and that they match the job qualifications. That's just what it is. Because I thought, and I fixated on my mind for a long time prior to this girl, like, I want a girl that's like this, I want a girl that's like that, she needs to be like this, she can't be like that, she can't do this, she can't have this. And you know what, I found that. But I also found out that a lot of the shit afterwards was definitely not something I want in a girl. Especially, a lot of you guys probably wouldn't want in a girl as well. I don't think nobody would want a fucking girl that's psychologically insane, okay? So, the first step to getting over somebody is realizing that you need to know your worth. And this is obviously me coming from a lens of, like, you were the broken one. You know? Like, you're the one who was broken up with. Understand that you need to know your worth. And regardless if this individual is going to come back or not, or they're going to apologize, or they're going to reach out, chances are it's probably going to be too late, right? If it's not within the span of a 24-hour time span of them reaching out after they do something horrible to you or fucked up, whether it's they cheat on you, or they fucking, I don't know, they disrespect you, or they hit you, or they almost get you arrested, like, whatever the fucking case may be, you just need to understand that you as a person, you have much more self-respect and self-worth than that, and you deserve nothing but the fucking absolute best. And in order to get that shit, you need to put your head down and you need to realize, look, my emotions want me to say X, but my logic wants me to say Y. In that very moment, you have to realize what's more important, my emotions or my logic. And you have to realize that your emotions are just your emotions. We live in a dark world, man. A dark world where people have selfish needs, you know, selfish intent, and make selfish actions. But you have to realize that people are flawed. Girl, guy, doesn't matter. Fucking dog. Like, people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. And you just have to come to realize that, like, at the end of the day, life moves on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is not going to fucking matter to you in like 10 years from now, whatever the fuck you're going through or whatever your issue is. It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter, bro. Like, life goes on. It goes on. Because at the end of the day, I'm making this fucking YouTube video. I'm sitting here in the fucking car at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and it's going to be non-existent. It's going to be not talked about probably within 200 years. If we're all even fucking alive at that point in this planet. Like, it doesn't matter. Life moves on. I'm going to fucking die one day. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be in 20 years. It could be 50, 60 years. I don't know. But life moves on. Time goes on. People forgive and people forget. Some people don't forgive. And you know what? That's on them. Because even if you were the one who was been wrongfully done and you don't forgive, you're just doing yourself a disservice because you're holding that grudge and you're holding that anger and resentment towards that person that they're lost, man. They're fucking lost. That the people who fuck you over in relationships and friendships and family or whatever, like, they're lost, bro. They're lost. They don't know what they're fucking doing. I'm telling you, they don't know what they're doing. They might think they know what they're doing. They might say like, oh, I know what I'm doing. But I could tell you right now that they don't know what they're doing, because any normal person that knows what they're doing, they're not going to do you fucked up like that, right? And people on this planet weren't, it's not how you, this is what I hate, because they always talk about like, it's how you're raised, because if you were raised to be a proper civilian and individual in this world, that's how you're going to become. But if you were raised to be an animal, you're going to become and be born in this planet just doing animalistic things. I don't agree with that. I think that it definitely can influence your actions, but people on this planet are born with an evil heart and people are born with a kind heart. You just have to realize, what am I born with? Am I born evil or am I born good? Know your worth, man. Know your worth. I knew my worth. Months go by and yeah, like I said, I never forgot about this girl. It's been 6-ish something months, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about this chick. Maybe I think about her for a minute, 2 minutes, and then I go on with my day. And I try to stop that, but I couldn't. And I just got to a point where, like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll think about her as long as I want to, and then when I don't want to anymore, I'll stop thinking about her. I don't give a fuck. But that was bad, man. I was in some rough fucking roads, dude. You're talking about the guy who I'm over here on some calls and shit, or trying to make certain shit happen, or I'm editing a YouTube video and I'm on my fucking MacBook because I'm not logged in on my fucking Instagram from my MacBook. I would go to search up her user and just look at it and just sit there for 5-10 minutes and just look at her profile picture. Just look at it and just sit there and just look and just think. I don't know about what, just reminiscing. That's what I was doing, reminiscing. I don't know why. I'm a 21-year-old kid that I don't have it all figured out. But the shit I talk about on this shit, it's like, I'm telling you because I figured it out. So take my fucking word for it, man. Life goes on. If that person really gives a fuck about you, they're going to reach out and they're going to do at least the courtesy and decency that you deserve and apologize. And you don't even need to hear their explanation. As much as you want to, as much as you want to know what the fuck happened, why they did this or that or said this and that. Who gives a fuck, man? It's their loss. It's their lesson to learn, G. That's what it is. It's their lesson to learn. Because without you, you wouldn't have been the lesson in that point in time in their life to have learned that. And all you're doing is really just being and giving a helping hand to that person to better themselves. You were just a fucking lesson to better them. I don't know if I really fucking explained much in this video or I was just ranting. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel like there's like a partial shit in this. I was just cooking and then a partial part where I'm just like fucking ranting about complete nonsense. I don't fucking know. But I just want to reassure those people, like, dude, you're good. Relax. Whether you're a girl or a guy, if you got cheated on, if they fucking left you, they kicked you to the curb and they did some flawed shit, or even crazier, they did a 180 on you and they just completely just became somebody that they did not show or portray themselves to be at all from the moment you've met them, and now all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? My love, it's the fact that, look, at the end of the day, that person, they kind of faked their personality a little bit for a good while until they released their true self. That's just what happened. It is what it is. I hope this was some therapy for you guys. It was definitely some fucking therapy for me. There's really nothing else to say. I spoke my shit. I spoke what I had to say. And I'm happier now. I'm good. I feel really good about myself. All right, well, I'm good. Have a good one, guys. Fuck.